Morning, mate. You all right? It was going to happen eventually, wasn't it? Where we get the rain. Yeah, it is what it is. No such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing and preparation. Anyway, Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week. How you getting on? What's your plans for today? What are you doing? So, I asked for a lot of questions yesterday on the video. There's been a few decent questions, but the one that I'm going to kick it off with is, do I have faith in Ruben Amorim? It's different from supporting and backing a manager, which I do, and I probably do more out of obligation than evidence at this stage, I think, at least anyway, because the stats are stark and there's no getting away from them. Do I believe in him? At the moment, no. I don't. And I think it's important to be honest about that. I need to see some evidence to be able to believe in him. Because I don't at the moment. Nearly slipped. I think it's fine to say, I support him, I want him to do well, I'm not going to ask for him to be sacked. But at the moment, no, I have kind of lost a little bit of faith. I have kind of just sort of feel like I'm kind of like existing in a plane where I'm hopeful, I'm wanting to see us improve, I'm wanting to see us do well, but I don't know if on a game by game, I was confident going into the City game because I thought we had the specific tools and the way that we played was going to be effective against City. Now, clearly that was not the case. But also, do I have the belief that we're going to turn this all around and be good? No. And I did at the start of the season. And you'd be like, oh, yeah, you predicted us to finish blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I did. Because I thought those new signings was going to make a difference. But the lack of, what's the word I'm looking for? Progression. Like, when a youngster breaks onto the scene and you talk about the potential that they've got, and you talk about how good they could be. Like today I've got a video coming out about Lenny Yoro. Now Lenny, when he joined, was really good. But he had a couple of games where he got roasted. But then he's learned from those games and he doesn't get roasted in the same way. Now he still loses challenges, he still loses certain duels. There's still areas of his game that he's got to improve. But you see the progression, you see the learning, and you see the changes in the things that he's doing, and you see the rounding out of his game. Now maybe it's easier in a particular single individual to see that sort of stuff, and harder to see that in a collective and in a team. And I completely understand the trying to play a certain way and trying to see that through to be successful. I get that, and I respect that. But there's a quote from Jose Mourinho, which is, how stupid would you be to be a coach who ends up being sacked? I'm paraphrasing it, this is not a word for word quote. I'm not trying to pull my phone out when the weather is as wet as this. How stupid would I be to be a coach that's been sacked by sticking to a certain philosophy rather than just trying to adapt and win? Something like that. And I think he's correct. It's fine to have an ideal of playing. And I'm not even going to say, oh, it works in Portugal, it doesn't work in England. That's not really a thing. Football is football. And even though I think certain leagues have different characteristics, you can still make things work. Like, I coach in non-league football. Non-league football is as direct, and teams play so similar that people will tell you that the way we play doesn't work in non-league football. I've coached probably in the region of 125 games and I've won over 80% of them. And we play football on the floor. We actually play a 4-2-3-1, but in possession, it's a 3-2-5. It's literally the shape that Ruben Amorim's trying to play with United. But the most important thing of it is, I mean, we're hit with ultra-direct transitions. Teams just twat it forward against us. Try and go 1v1 against our backline. You have to be able to adapt certain things to the games that you're playing. So I am losing faith. And I'm losing faith based on evidence. That doesn't mean that I also don't think certain things are correct or legitimate. I think saying that he still needs more time is correct and legitimate. I think saying that we still need more signings is correct and legitimate. Didn't Arteta go for a period of winning like fucking 3 and 14 at one point? With an enormous amount of signings. And then on the other hand, I go, yeah, okay, we have got a new forward line. And even though we've not been scoring the goals that you would expect us to score, I do have the faith that we will score those goals. What worries me at the moment is our transition to defence. That's what worries me at the moment, really. And I know we're not necessarily conceding goals via that. But the transition to defence and the lack of control in games is what's annoying me. And actually, it's what annoyed me last night. So, Paddock FC went top of the league last night. We're in Cheshire League, right? We're at the 12th level of English football. Now, oh my God, this puddle's enormous. I'm going to get soaked if I stand here. There is, technically, we are an amateur team. My first team don't pay subs. That's their perk for playing at this so-called level. We remove subs for the first team. I'm going to have to jog. I'm going to get fucking blitzed by that big ass puddle. We remove subs, so our first team don't pay subs. And we also made it that our first team women don't pay subs, so there's equality across the board there. Our first team women had their first game on Sunday, which we went to. It was great. Lost in the shite that the derby was. But there's teams in our league that we've not been slated to play yet, that have got some millionaire backers. Those millionaire backers are supposedly funding some players to the tune of 350 quid a week. And we will beat them. It's a weird level that we're at. You know, I spoke about this the other week where I was saying, like, I've got to try and figure out what the finances are as we move up all the different leagues. For us to go into the sort of the very bottom of semi-pro, where you can expect things like win bonuses and that. Probably not too much of a stretch. A little bit more sponsorship, a few more members, we'd probably do it. Beyond that level, I just don't understand how teams are surviving. But anyway, we're at the 12th level of English football. And we went top of the league last night. But I've never shouted at the players the way I shouted at them at half time last night. I absolutely lost my shit with them. And I lost my shit with them because there was no control in our game, and that's kind of what we're sort of known for. We scored 2 beautiful goals. Literally, like, if I'd have been able to show you 2 goals which epitomise what we're like, what I want my football to be played like, it was those 2 goals last night. One of them started with 20-something passes in our half. Patient, composed. Waiting for an opportunity. And when the opportunity went, we crossed over the halfway line, we hit a switch, we found a gap, we crossed it back into the box, on the floor, and a striker arrived at the front post and put it away. Literally exactly the sort of football that I teach. But the rest of the game was just dumb. We were trying to dribble with it in our own half. We were trying to go forward at every opportunity. The lack of composure, lack of control, the stupid, dumb mistakes, absolutely wigging me out. Absolutely wigging me out. So bollocked them at half-time, which I don't do. I don't know what, because of the transfer review where I shout, I think people have got this idea that I shout when I'm coaching, and I really don't. I reckon that's happened 5 times in 5 years. But I saw my arse last night, and I didn't even speak to him afterwards, because I was that fucking mad. So the first half finished 2-1. At 2-0, it's not been good, but like, it's 2-0, and we've been absolutely ruthless when we've got the ball forward and gone and scored. Oh my God, there's a big ass pudding. Let's cross. But afterwards I didn't speak to him at all, because I was like, if I speak to him, I'm just going to fucking tell him I hate him. So I didn't speak to him, I just went to the bar. And today my plan is try and catch up on some of those games last night, especially Dortmund, Juventus, 4-4. Need to have a look how that went. Oh, it is a bit of a request for everyone. So, I have a 30-year-old Land Rover Defender, which I love. I've never felt like I suited a vehicle more in my life. One of the major faults with a Land Rover Defender is the chassis. It rusts out and it goes. So you kind of have to be on top of, you've got an old one, replacing that. And I've just put mine in to be replaced. Well, technically it's not booked in yet, because I need to sort something out first before I book it in. What I need to sort out first is I need to be able to hire a car. So does anyone know where I can hire a car for 3 months? Because obviously you can go to like your Enterprise and places like that for like, you know, a few days, 5 days, a week, whatever. But where does like a sensible sort of price car hire for about 2 or 3 months? Let us know in the comments, please. Otherwise, yeah. Hey, what do we say? It's raining. We do it anyway. I got coursework to finish today. So that's going to be my thing. And then there's an Adidas event in town, which I'm going to go to after Little Un's been swimming. But big coat weather, lads. Absolutely socking. But anyway, yeah, there's my reasons. I mean, do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have faith but still backing him? I know that sounds like a madness, but I guess that's the complexity of supporting it. I don't think I have the faith in him. I need to see something. He's got to demonstrate something. But that'll do me for this morning, I reckon. Got the steps in. Definitely got the fresh air in. I think we're going to have a few wet ones like this. Hey, listen, I love how positive we've made this comment section. Could never have imagined the stuff that people would be sharing in here. It's incredible. So while the world's trying to fuck us all, let's keep this comment section nice and positive. Keep stacking the wins, everyone. Take it easy. See you in a bit.